Hey there, it's Laura M and welcome to my channel. As you can tell from the title of this video, today we are going to be planning 2021. So on this first page, I'm just writing my name and then I'm writing my Instagram account, and then later on I'm going to go back and write my phone number and email. This next page is my key page. Now, the book I got already came with a key page, so I don't have to make it. However, I think after I finish, I might go back later and add in a little doodle of a key or something and darken the word key, because I don't know, the page just feels a little dull to me. Next, I'm doing my 2021 cover page. I found this really cool font on Pinterest that I'll link down below, and that is where I took this idea from. However, the page aside from the font is a little dull, so I might go back and add washi tape or something later. You'll see in a minute I added a border around the page, but it didn't do what I was hoping for it to do. Next is my grid spacing page. Now, I just wrote down the numbers where each grid represents, and I wrote down the halfway points because that's all I really use when I look at the grid spacing page, and anything else I just divide by however many spaces there are. But I find I don't go exactly in thirds or fourths or anything like that, so I just don't really use it, so I didn't want to write down the whole thing. And then on the other side, I have my quote, which is, "Don't aim to be perfect, aim to be better," which is a really good piece of advice I've gotten a while back, and it's something that I like to keep in mind as I'm doing stuff. Next, we have my year at a glance page, and as you can see, I have these little calendars here that I printed from the Lovely Planner website. However, I sized up the calendars so they're just a little bit too big for my journal, as you'll see in a second. It was right around here where I decided that I did not know how to work this out right now, so I would go back later and fix that page, which is unfortunately not shown in this video. Next, we have my theme idea page, which is basically just a brain dump style page, so it's mostly blank. And then my theme tracker, which has 12 spots for 12 months of different themes that I end up doing. Next, we have my year in photo spread inspired by Amanda Rach Lee. And I really like this spread. I did this last year and it's so fun to look back at all of the different photos and just remember what you were doing when you took that photo, why it was your favorite, things like that. So I'm really excited to do it again this year. I know that spread took a while, but I promise you it is so worth it. Now we move on to my goals page. Last year I had 10 spaces for goals for myself to set. This year I'm only using up 6 spaces. So that way it's a little less pressure on myself because last year I did not use up all 10 spaces. So on one side, I'm writing what the goal is, and on the other side, where I have a longer box, that's where I'm putting the different steps I can take to sort of work towards that goal. Now we move on to my bucket list, which I did not write down in this journal yet, but it is basically a list of things I want to accomplish in 2020. Not necessarily goals. They're not necessarily things to better me. They're just fun things that I want to do. Like, for instance, I want to read like 20 plays at least in 2020, so that's something that's going to go on my bucket list. Speaking of things to read, now we move on to my things to check out page, where I have a few different categories. I have books, I have podcasts, which I'm not too into, but I want to get more into. I have TV, YouTube videos, and movies in one category, and then I have plays in its own category. This is going to be brain dump style, which means that I don't have a specific spot to write down everything that I want to do. I'm just going to write it down as I go and then cross it off as I go. Next, we move on to my 2021 playlist, which has 21 slots for my top 21 songs in the year 2021. Here I'm just going back to my theme tracker real quick because I realized I forgot to write in the months underneath each circle, so I just decided to go back and do that. Here is my final flip through. Now, there might be some changes I go back and make, which I'll be sure to post on my Instagram, which you'll be able to find a link for down below. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a great 2021.